I wanted to see how you guys all stood before we started doing any footwork or stand stuff. The majority of you guys are standing straight up like this, right? And you can't move around like that. And I told you guys not to move around on purpose so that you would stand like this. All right, so when you're fighting, and it doesn't matter which single sword stance you want to use, what you want, I don't know how many people have taken martial arts or done any kind of martial arts stuff, but there's this L stance, right? You want to stand in sort of profile view, right? You want this shoulder in front, this shoulder behind. You want this foot pointed at your opponent, and this foot pointed off this way. So it's the shape of an L, right? So everybody go ahead and stand up like this. Everybody point your front foot at me, and then your back foot comes off at like a 45-degree angle. Right, and if there's gonna be variance, don't worry about that. And then what you wanna do is kind of settle down and bend your knees a little bit, right? Keeping your weight over the top of your hips, right over the center of your hips. Bend your knees just a little bit, like 10, 15 degrees. You're not trying to squat down, and and don't lean forward, don't lean back. You want to be centered over your center of mass, like in your hips, in your legs. And if you're doing this right, you should feel it right in here, right? You should feel it, and you're not bending your knees a bunch. And when you're here, now what you want to do is move up on the balls of your feet. Right? Not a lot. It's just like if you were looking at the back of my foot, you can't really even tell my heel's off the ground, right? Yeah. I mean, it might be, a centimeter off the ground, and that's fine. But what you want is the power generation that comes from being up on the balls of your feet. Because when you're up on the balls of your feet, you can lunge forward, you can lunge backward. When you're flat-footed, it's harder to do that, and you don't land correctly. That's the important thing. When you're up on the balls of your feet, when you move around, you land on the balls of your feet. When you start flat-footed, you land flat-footed. All right. So next thing we're gonna cover is moving around. Now you guys know how to stand, and you know what the basic blocks are. Now we're gonna cover just moving around. So everybody put down your sword. So the first thing we're gonna cover is how to move forward. And this I've seen a lot just over the weekend. I've been fighting with a lot of you guys, and I see this a lot. A lot of times, and this is just something because you guys don't know, and that's why we're here. So don't take it personally. I'm here to teach you guys how to do it. When you're moving forward, don't do this. Right? You're not walking. You're moving tactically. Right? So don't walk forward. The problem with walking forward is like, give me a shield. Right. So now you know that one of these quadrants is this hip and this hip, right? When you're walking forward, boom, hip, 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 over and over at a rhythmic pace. So if I start like this hip's way back here, it's hard to get because I can block that. But as soon as I start walking forward, boom, gone, hip, gone, hip, over and over. So don't walk anywhere. If you're fighting and you're like standing, obviously if I'm gonna move over to you, I'll probably stand up and walk. But if I'm actually fighting somebody, you never wanna be doing this. If you're standing up straight, you can't throw any shots, and you're just giving everything. The shield's moving in and out when you're walking, and you can just get hit all over the place. So the way to move is you get in that stance, right? You're down in that stance, knees bent, center of gravity good. First way to move, boom, boom. Front foot moves up, back foot slides up to knee. Move up, slide up, move up, slide up, move up. There we go. When you're moving backward, exactly the opposite. Back foot moves away, front foot slides back to me. Back foot moves away, front foot slides back to me. And that's how you move. Yeah, you don't want to shuffle step, right? You want a smooth slide, right? It's easy to do on the single limb because we all kind of switch through. But, and it's also easy to do in the dirt. Like, you can slide your feet all over and it's feel, right? So front foot moves up, and back foot slides up to you. You almost don't even want your back foot leaving the ground, right? I'm not saying like digging and dragging, but kind of just, move up, slide, move up, slide. And moving backward. Yeah, there you go. All right, so move all this shit out of the way. And then move to that end of the gym. Again, one. We're just going to go out, we're just going to move that way across the gym, and then we're going to come back, right? The first thing we're going to do, front foot moves up, back foot slides to meet it. Front foot moves, there you go. There you go. Keeping your knees bent, keeping your center of gravity over the middle. There you go. There you go. Now, stop and don't turn around. Just stop where you are. Start moving backward. Back foot moves, front foot slides back to meet it. So you're keeping your knees bent, keeping, the center of gravity good. There you go. All right. You guys feel pretty comfortable with that? Any questions?